dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the Black Ops 7 Zombies beta, some brand new rewards, and a ton of other surprises. Definitely stay tuned. In the background, we got some limited gameplay of Ashes of the Dam that was of course filmed over at COD Next. I also have a bit of Dead Ops Arcade 4 coverage that I'm going to be inserting in my upcoming vlog, which I'm really excited about. That should be done getting edited in the next couple of days from now. But of course, in a perfect world, it would have been great to record even more footage of the upcoming Transit remake. Still happy to have gotten what I did, but at least tomorrow on October the 3rd, we'll be jumping into the Farm Survival beta. Real quick, I also wanted to mention that it does look like the voice actor behind Richtofen, Nolan North, is going to be a guest on the upcoming episode of the COD Pod. I'd highly recommend checking that one out because there's something real special that I wouldn't want you guys to miss, but I would also expect plenty of other zombie marketing and additional surprises that are likely going to get revealed in the coming weeks before the full launch of the game. Now, it's probably obvious to many of you out there, but 2 points of interest in Ashes of the Dam that were actually marketed to us already, the diner and even the launch site, weren't accessible in our build over at COD Next, and I'd expect they're probably going to be important points of interest that are probably related directly to the upcoming Easter egg, hence why we weren't able to access them. But let's clear things up when it comes to the survival beta. So unfortunately, the zombies beta didn't actually start earlier today when the multiplayer beta did, nor is the zombies beta gonna last all the way until the end of the entire beta itself. It's gonna be a limited time offering beginning tomorrow, October the 3rd, which will stretch into October the 7th, a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. But as far as what their explanation is, here's what Treyarch tweeted earlier today. This is the very first time zombies will be in a beta. We want players to have the most stable experience possible, and the first 24 hours are about prioritizing game stability before we add this new pillar of the game to the beta itself. If you'd like, you can get a head start today on unlocking your loadout content to use in survival when it's live tomorrow. Now, I do think that serves as a decent explanation for why they're starting it late, but it doesn't exactly answer why they have to pull it out of the game a bit early. Regardless, though, something I do predict is that some players will jump into this and be like, wait, what do we actually do here? We're just killing zombies and going to high rounds, which is the whole point of survival, but I think a lot of the newer zombie folks who never really got to play the Black Ops 2 survival maps are going to end up figuring that out and may even get burnt out of this experience sooner than later. So maybe they said, hey, you know what, to just kind of eliminate some bad zombies PR, we're going to pull this out of the whole beta before multiplayer even concludes. But I wouldn't fully rule out the possibility of an extension if, let's say, there's stability issues or other server related problems over the next couple of days. Now, if they would have made the zombies beta limited to just the early access period, that also would have made sense, even if I didn't agree with it, because then the open access players wouldn't have gotten a chance to play. That at least would have been a business move that clearly was meant to just boost pre-orders. Now, as far as some rules do go for the beta, there's a couple of things worth mentioning before you guys actually jump in. So when you play Farm Survival, any of the progress you make, like the actual rounds or the XP you earn, or let's say the Gobblegums you chew, none of that is actually going to carry over into the full launch of the game, nor will you have any access to augments from Black Ops 6 zombies, which do carry forward day one. You're not going to be able to use those during the duration of this beta. If you're on solo though, you will have access to the save and quit feature, which I think is perfect since they might as well just add that in the case you guys are going for a special reward, which I'll circle back to in a second. But for those completely unfamiliar with how Call of Duty Zombies works, there is going to be a training course available for Farm Survival, which I'm sure is going to teach you how to get a kill, how to hit the mystery box, how to turn on power, and interact with certain machines that are around the map inside of the farm, which luckily I got to play back at Treyarch a few weeks ago. I was able to see that the arsenal machine will be underground, you're going to have a pack-punch machine in the barn, and Wonder Fizz will be in place of a perk, which is right upstairs in the main house. The crafting station may not give you access to the Elder Disciple or anything too crazy, but at least a couple of score streaks from BO7 multiplayer. The cool thing is we're also going to be getting free Gobblegums that we can use during the survival beta. If you don't end up using them, they're also not going to carry forward into the full launch of the game, so you may as well burn them. But as they went ahead and said, you're going to be getting access to Power Vacuum, Nowhere But There, Profit Sharing, Soda Fountain, Dead Drop, Explosive Flourish, Respin Cycle, Round Off, Immolation Liquidation, Flavor Hex, Gift Card, Timeout, Perkaholic, Hidden Power, Near Death Experience, Wonder Bar, and even Raindrops. Now, what I'm guessing here is they might give you 2 to 3 of each of those Gobblegums that I mentioned, maybe just 1 of every Ultra type, it's not exactly clear, but they're at least giving us access to a bunch of new Gobblegums that weren't in BO6 and haven't been seen in Zombies for many, many years. But during the Zombies beta, players will have access to the brand new Wisp Tea perk instead of the Wonder Fizz. I know I wasn't able to actually buy it at COD Next because the machine wasn't there. It's probably at the launch site or the diner or something. But as you progress through different levels of the beta, there'll be other gameplay items that you can use. There's Cryo Freeze at level 6, we have Frenzied Guard at level 8, the Symbol Monkey at level 9, the Fireworks Ammo mod at level 12, returning from BO3, we have Healing Aura at level 14, Napalm Burst at 17, the brand new field upgrade returning from Cold War at level 19, and that's gonna do it. Unless there's other gameplay items that we don't know about from levels 21 to 30, then it's just about everything that Zombies players are going to be able to unlock, but it is unclear as to when the level cap is going to be increased to 30, which we know is going to happen since there's a blueprint to unlock. I also gave away over, I want to say 15-ish codes earlier on stream for the multiplayer beta, but I have another 20 or so that I'm also going to be giving away during the rest of the duration of the early access period. I'll try to give away as many as possible, especially right when the Zombies beta begins, just to make sure a lot of you guys out there do have time to download it and jump in while the Zombies beta is still active. So I'll be giving away plenty over in the live chat. I'll have Nightbot roll a bunch of winners by complete randomness. You'll just have to input one single keyword into the chat, which will change every so often. Once you enter the word once, Nightbot will end up picking a winner, while we're also going to be hosting a separate giveaway of codes on the Detonated Twitter, and I'll be announcing some other methods over the course of this weekend. There's also viewership drops that you can earn on Twitch when you tune into one of my live streams, so I'll also be multi-streaming on Twitch over the course of this weekend so that you can unlock a free blueprint and other themed cosmetics that won't be available until day 1. Now, tonight's video is sponsored by LagoFast. If you're looking for a quick and free beta code, then look no further than the LagoFast Game Booster. LagoFast uses professional network optimization technology to help players minimize latency and improve FPS. Additionally, it offers VPN services which can get players into better lobbies as well. LagoFast also offers a mobile app in case you're optimizing a console, and even a separate application if you're on PC. Once you're in, click the redeem code button in the upper right corner and enter the redemption code DK to receive free LagoFast usage time and a chance at getting a Black Ops 7 beta code. There's quite a few codes being given away, but still they're on a first come first served basis, so be as quick as you can. Now, once you receive your code, you can then enter that at callofduty.com/redeem to begin playing the beta on October the 2nd. But don't forget, LagoFast is going to have you covered when the game officially drops on November the 14th, whether you're playing Endgame, Multiplayer, Warzone, or even Zombies. But to check out LagoFast, check out the special link down below in this video's description or the pinned comment, and thank you to LagoFast for sponsoring tonight's video. But do let me know in the comments if you're still in need of a beta code and whether or not you're more interested in playing the multiplayer or the Zombies portion of the beta. But apart from Treyarch confirming that round 999 is accessible in this beta, which I think at this point is going to be pretty tough to achieve in the limited amount of time, unless you're a great player on solo who's done this before, without the Elder Disciple injection or any other big boost, then I'm curious to see if anybody's going to be able to reach this. But apart from being able to reach 999 because there isn't any level cap, there is going to be a free and secret reward given out if a player hits round 50. It's just a calling card, but essentially a free Dark Ops during the duration of this beta, which will end up being one of the rarest items you can earn for Black Ops 7. Multiplayer also has an equivalent where they want you to get 1,000 eliminations during any point of the beta, so you'll have from the 2nd till the 9th to do that, but within Zombies, you only have from the 3rd until the 7th. A lot less time to play, but I think still plenty of time to at least go ahead and reach round 50 in either a co-op game or on solo. Clearly, solo players will have a bit of an advantage with save and quit if, let's say, they get burnt out after like 20 to 30 rounds. They can pause it, come back to it later, and they'll be able to go ahead and continue playing. I'd be curious to see if there's any other secret challenges within the beta that we don't know about yet. Totally open to it, even though they're going to be rare rewards that regular premium users won't be able to ever unlock unless they played the beta. It also looks like following the preload of the BO7 beta, the usual data miners on Twitter did find a ton of information about future Zombies content. Luckily, nothing too crazy in the spoiler territory, but still some exciting updates nonetheless. First off, for those paranoid about Easter egg steps being leaked, according to data miner Alex, he said, and I quote, "Want to clarify something because people are interpreting things. There is a reference to some Easter egg stuff, not the full thing, not even enough to figure out a step. No, the Easter egg won't leak within the beta." Now, what I'm assuming happened here is just like with Black Ops 2, the entirety of Ashes of the Damned is currently loadable by the usual data miners out there. And because farm is accessible, that allows them to no-clip out of the farm and look around the rest of the map. But in the current build, it doesn't look like too much is actually going to be able to be spoiled, but it goes back to what I mentioned about BO2, where the entire map is loaded. We're just sectioned off and kept within one specific space. Now that's still some good news so that nothing gets ruined for the launch of the game, but it does look like classic HUDs are 100% happening. Although this was already confirmed with the initial zombie reveal blog, a lot of folks were upset to see some of the initial gameplay at COD Next, and the fact that the HUD is essentially the same one we have over in multiplayer. The thing is, a futuristic HUD looks pretty in BO7, but it's not zombified. It doesn't fit the Ashes of the Damned experience, nor does it feel like a Dark Ether spin on the HUD either. Treyarch hasn't been able to do a real creative and zombified HUD in many years now, but it does look like that's finally something we're going to be seeing inside of Black Ops 7. So it does look like a full list of upcoming HUDs did leak out by the usual leakers, but they weren't able to force equip them and really showcase them. However, I'm not going to show the footage or images on screen because of potential copyright strikes. We want to respect that privacy and just let all this stuff get released on day one. Now, the HUD names do say Vintage, which I believe is a Shadows of Evil one. We have Tunes, Schematic, Blueprint, Redacted, Shards, Dark Shards, 98 Problems, Console, Old School, and even Vintage. So there's 2 Vintage ones, not sure why that's the case, but I believe one of them is actually the classic BO3 HUD from the Giant, whereas the one called Old School is probably like the Black Ops 1 or 2 HUDs, which I'm really excited about. But the problem here, because there's always a catch, is that it does look like, according to these leakers, the HUDs have loot ID attached to them, in the names at least. While it could mean nothing, according to Alex, it could also mean they are locked behind anything, whether it's a bundle, battle pass, or some type of reward. Not only would this be a perfect set of rewards for, let's say, doing objectives in the Curse mode, aka the Remix Classic experience, but this could be a really cool system that incentivizes Zombies players to be like, okay, if I want to play a real classic experience, I gotta play Cursed. Then when I'm in Cursed, I gotta use these relics, make the game harder, and do XYZ, whether it's the main quest, whether it's hit a high round, speed run something, and as a reward, they can get operator skins, blueprints, or in this case, HUD presets. Obviously, it's totally plausible that HUD presets get added into bundles, or Black Cell, or a battle pass. I'll also think of this compromise, right? Because we gotta be realistic here. If some zombified HUDs are free off rip at launch, yeah, it would have been great if they would have showcased, screenshots of that during COD Next. Can't get everything we want, maybe they just weren't ready, but if we get at least a couple of them for free at launch, then some other ones from older DLC maps like Buried or Mob of the Dead, if those get put behind bundles or other MTX, then okay, we don't have to agree with that, but at least we got some zombified HUDs, which are better than just being stuck with the basic multiplayer one. Now, I mentioned Curse Mode, and I do plan on making a separate video talking more about all the classic mechanics, rewards, and a bunch of other details that you may have missed, but Alex also mentioned on Twitter that it looks like the way to unlock Curse Mode isn't just to do the main Easter egg. It might be something else that is, quote, less annoying, which I suppose would at least make that mode more accessible to some of the casuals out there who do know and like classic zombies and would like to play that version in BO7 without having to be good enough to beat a boss fight or beat a full main quest. Maybe there's going to be some set of challenges you got to do, and once you do them all, you'll just get access to the mode. It'll be available at launch. You can do the Easter egg within the mode, and I'm sure Curse Mode support will be added to all future DLC maps. I think it's going to be an interesting balance to see how they handle the Curse Mode, because they want to make it rewarding for players to unlock, which comes with a bit of a challenge, but they're probably not going to want the barrier of entry to be too difficult to the point where some players out there are like, hey, I want to play Classic Mode, but I'm just not good enough to go ahead and unlock it. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on some brand new updates regarding Black Ops 7 Zombies? How are you feeling about the upcoming survival beta? Plus everything else we discussed. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.